All right, we're back with another video. This is going to be arguably the most important video out of this whole series, in my opinion. So we've gone ahead and we've set up our game system, right? Because you can't play Call of Duty without a game system. So we've set up our game system, which is TradingView. So we have our game system set up. If you followed the last video and you don't have the attention span of a peanut, your chart should look exactly like mine does. If it doesn't, comment below. Let me know so I can help you fix it. Now that we have the game system set up, well, you need to know what game it is you're playing in order to play the game at all or enjoy the game or whatever you want to do with the game. You need to know what game you're playing. And in order to know what game you're playing, you need to first learn the characters of that game, right? Well, for example, there's you, the character, but you know everything about you. Well, in fact, we're going to set you up later. We're going to set your create a character up later. But for right now, you need to understand the different variables in the game so that you can play the game in the first place. Who's against you, who you're working with, what you're playing on, not TradingView, but like what map you're playing on. All of the things that make up a video game, you need to first learn what that is in trading in order to even play the game. So what I want you to do, person watching this video, is I want you to get some kind of notebook or some kind of notepad, and I want you to follow along with this video, and everything I write down, I want you to write down as well. The reason I'm having you do that is because I'm about to introduce you to the players of the game, and we're going to attach a reference point to them. You'll know what I mean here in a second. And when you have these things written down, later on when you're trading, doing your own trading, like your own back testing or your own practice or whatever, you'll always have those notes there to reference when you get confused. For example, when somebody asks you what a broker is, and you go, you shouldn't be doing that anymore, because I'm about to tell you what a broker is. In fact, I'm about to give you the sticks and stones version of what a broker is, and you're going to write it down. You're going to know what it is, all right? So originally this video was supposed to be 2 videos, but I'm just going to combine it into one. And then the next video, we're just going to deep dive into the psychology behind what it is to be a player in this video game. So first you have to understand something before we start learning about the world and the game characters. You have to first understand that trading is not a game. Trading isn't a game. We're going to break it down as if it was a game, but you have to understand that trading isn't a game. It comes with risk, and those risks are whatever you're willing to lose, right? The risk is whatever you're willing to lose. But you must first understand that on the other side of losing, there's winning. And are you going to be a winner or a loser? And the thing that differentiates whether you're going to be a winner or a loser is your understanding on the things that you're participating in and on the things that you're using. There are other things like you can't control, don't get me wrong, but you can greatly increase your chances if you understand the things that you're using and the things that you're playing up against, right? That's just basic knowledge. We're not saying anything crazy or, we're not overcomplicating anything. So you must first understand that we're breaking trading down as if it was a game, but you must understand that trading is not a game. You can lose things. If you don't know how to play the game, you will lose things. You will, and those things being your time and your money, and your time is way important than money, right? And we want our character to lose as little HP as possible. So in order to do that, we must first understand the characters in the game. So once again, I want you to write down what I'm writing down. We're gonna break these all down. Let me get rid of this real quick. So, there we go. Oh, all right. All right. So the first player in the game is you. You are the player. Now we'll dive into this a little bit more later on, but just understand, you are the player. None of this works if you don't understand you. It doesn't matter how well you know how a market moves or how well you understand something like gold or the NASDAQ or any currency pair. None of this works without you first understanding who you are, what your style of trading is, what kind of risk you can take, what you're willing to lose. None of this works without you understanding your weaknesses, and understanding where your strengths lie and where your weaknesses lie. So, your role in this game, so you, the player / trader, you're the first character in the game, and none of this works without you. Literally, none of the markets would work without you. They would still move without you. However, they would not work without you. And what do I mean by that? Is you wouldn't even, sounds real stupid, but if you never participated in the market, you wouldn't even think about the market. I don't know if that makes sense. Never mind. All right. So you the player / trader. In trading, this is the only thing that you can control. I'm not even joking, and you'll learn later on that everything else is out of your control. Well, then how am I supposed to trade if I can't control anything? Is what you're probably asking. Probably not. We're going to learn later. But just understand that you in this game, you, person behind the screen, you're the only thing, the only common denominator that can be controlled in this whole trading game. And underneath you, you have HP, just like in a video game. The character in a video game has a health bar, right? Well, you might ask, well, okay, what is my HP in trading? Your HP is going to be your capital. Your capital being how much you're willing to lose. So let me give you an example. If I have a $5,000 account and I worked my 9 to 5, saving up $5,000, that $5,000 is my health bar. But it's not your HP. Your HP is what you're willing to lose out of that $5,000. And we'll go into risk and all that later. But just understand that what you're willing to lose is your HP. It's your health bar in the video game. And once that HP is depleted, you're left with a few different choices. But once that HP is deleted, that's when you reassess. Are you seeing how these things, your health points in this video game are going to be the amount. If you're trading, and people who have traded before who are already here probably know what I'm talking about. If you're trading and you're sitting in a trade that's going up and down, and it's doing everything but going your way. It's not taking you out. It hasn't taken you out, but it also hasn't gone your way. And you're sitting there for 3 hours, right? And it's been doing that for 3 hours. Just put yourself there mentally. I want you to think about this. You're risking $1,000 out of your $5,000. That's a lot of money. You're risking your $1,000, right? And it's in the market, and you're seeing it go up and down, negative, positive, and you're sitting through this trade for 3 hours, and it hasn't taken you out the trade, and it also hasn't gone your way for 3 hours. Don't you think your mental energy is going to be depleted? Bro, it's going to feel like you just went on a 3-mile run. Not physically, but mentally. You're going to feel fatigued and tired. Trust me, if you haven't been there yet, you are going to be there at some point. So understand, and once again, all of this stuff will deep dive into every category in its own video. But for right now, we just need to get the concepts down. I'll probably keep saying that. I'm sorry. So your health points, your health bar is your capital that you're willing to lose plus your mental energy. Your mental energy can be you sitting through a trade or just how you feel when you get up in the morning and open up the charts, the game system. It's just how are you doing mentally that day when you log into your account. How are you doing mentally? Because if you're not doing good mentally, your health bar is low. And why would you play a video game that's already hard? This shit is set to fucking extreme difficulty. Why would you play a video game and go up against a boss fight with a low health bar? That doesn't even make sense. Nah, I'd solo. No, bro. No, you won't. You're going to get destroyed. You're not winning. I promise you. Okay. So, one second. Another thing you have, just like in a video game, is stamina. So I want you to, the whole time we're doing this, I want you to just think video games, okay? That's how we're going to simplify all this. So we have stamina as a player in the game. I'm trying to like color code all this. So you have stamina. Well, you may ask, what is your stamina? It is, can you guess? It is your patience. Your stamina in the game of trading is your patience. Your patience to sit on your hand, your patience to wait for your setups, your patience to do anything in this. Like, I'm telling you, out of all of this, I think this trumps your capital and your mental energy. Because honestly, you can lack both of these things, mental energy and capital. However, your stamina defines how far you'll go in trading. So if you lack patience, I'll just keep it a buck with you, bro. Close this video. like patience is something that takes a long time to learn. And trading is something that will teach you patience. I'll let you know that right now. So if you do lack patience, but you're still here, just understand that this is something that will teach you patience. It's just going to take a lot of failing, struggling, and fucking mental exhaustion. So if that's not something you want to deal with and you lack patience, this probably isn't for you. I can show you how to be patient, but I cannot teach you patience. You have to understand that. Okay? So your stamina in this game is going to be your patience. How much stamina do you have? And we'll get into how all this ties into your trading at the start of the day. One more time, guys. We're going to go over all of this and how you can use it all to trade better with, and how to make trades in the first place with all of it. But for right now, we need to get it drawn out on the board so you understand what it is you're looking at. We've already set up the Xbox 360. Now we're picking up the disc. We put the disc in the game system. So the disc is trading itself. We've put the disc in the game system. It's spun up, right? And now we're on the title screen and we have to learn all of the controls. We're in the settings right now. We're under the about section, about the game. We're looking at the controls, right? Stamina is going to be your patience. Your characters, we'll call it fatal flaw. So what does this mean in video game terms? What is it that will 100% wreck your character, kill your character? What is your character's fatal flaw? I'll tell you what your fatal flaw is as a trader. I bet you I'm right. If any of you said this, I'm glad you're being honest with yourself. Over trading. So let me break this down. Your fatal flaw, the thing that will kill your character in this game, is over trading. It is you revenge trading. It is you getting a win. It doesn't matter if it's small or big. It's you getting a win and continuing to trade. Just high off the dopamine, bro. You're just high off of the dopamine. You're in it for the thrill. You're treating this like gambling, and not treating it like a business. You're not respecting the game rules. You're not respecting the rules of the game. So this is the one thing that will kill your character. And as you continue to grow as a trader, your fatal flaw list may get bigger, it may get smaller. But for right now, you need to understand that this one fatal flaw is the fatal flaw that's probably going to kill most of you, or is killing most of you right now in this current time. You might, for those of you who have been trading for a while, this fatal flaw list might be bigger, it might be smaller. Maybe you're not dealing with over trading. It doesn't matter. Just write whatever your fatal flaw is right here. But for those of you who are probably new to this, or just getting back into it, whatever. For right now, you're going to want to write over trading as your fatal flaw, because that is probably what you're dealing with. I can guarantee it. So now we know our character. We understand that you, as a trader, you are the player in this game. You are the only thing you have control over in trading. You have a health bar. It consists of your capital. Your capital is what you're willing to lose, plus your mental energy. Your mental energy is when you get on the computer, when you get on your phone, or when you get on your tablet for the day, where are you at mentally? Be honest with yourself. Where are you sitting at mentally? If you're dealing with something like money struggles or something's on your mind that's probably going to affect your trading for that day, man, if your mindset isn't, boy, I got $20, can't wait for the market to take it today, and you laugh about it, your mental energy is probably low. So your health bar consists of your capital plus your mental energy. You have a stamina bar. Your stamina bar is your patience. It goes up and it goes down just like a stamina bar. Like every stamina bar, it starts all the way full, right? As you sit through trades, as you wait for your setups, as you win, as you lose, your stamina bar will be affected. Your patience will be affected. You need to learn how to control your patience or none of this works. This is probably the most important thing on this whole list, in my opinion. Your fatal flaw. Your fatal flaw is the thing that kills your character, no matter what in the game. Your fatal flaw starting out will probably be overtrading, right? It will probably be overtrading. This is the thing. It will drive the spear right through you, flip you up in the air, and fatality yo ass into oblivion. Gonzo. All right. So now that we understand who, and this, we'll deep dive into this a lot more later. This is my favorite thing to talk about, just the character, because it is the most important thing in this. It really is. We'll deep dive into this more later, but for right now, let's keep going. Oh man, I get really picky with these colors. I'm sorry. Know the game and your role. That is what we're doing right now, once again. So right now, we're understanding who the characters are in the game. We've already gone over your role in this game. We just did that. So we can cross it off the list. Let's keep knowing the world. Let's keep learning the game world. So the next thing we're going to learn about, the second game character we're going to learn about is a game character called a broker. Who are the brokers? Who are the brokers? Probably should have made like a PowerPoint for this. But no, this is good. I hope you guys are writing down everything we're talking about. So who are the brokers in trading? Well, I can give you the very long, strung out nerd version of it, or I can just dumb it down for you so you don't have to think about it that much, because it matters, but it really doesn't matter that much. I'll be honest with you. So the broker is the gatekeeper, and it's exactly what you think it is. It's literally, you ever hear somebody call somebody else a gatekeeper, like, oh, you gatekeeping, you're gatekeeping, bro. It is literally that. It's exactly what you think it is. So what is their role? Their role in all of this is they let you enter the server. They let you get into the game in the first place. Now, what exactly does that mean? So, just like in a video game, right? Let's not overcomplicate this. Just like in a video game, let's draw this out so you understand. Probably work better if we do some pictures. Just like in a video game, right? If you buy a console, right? So this is you. If you buy a console, right? You take your new Call of Duty home and you load it up in your Xbox 360. My God, it's like a horrible game system. You load it up in your Xbox 360, right? Well, once you have that game plugged in and you're sitting on the title screen to the game, so you're on the title screen of the game, right? It's got all the start button, the logo to the game, everything's right there, right? Guy holding a gun, doing like some cool walking animation. Once you press play, because you want to play online, we're not talking about a campaign here. Let's say you want to play online. Once you press play, these game servers have to connect you to the online play service. Does that make sense? So you can't get online unless so what basically happens is you click play online, your signal will get sent to game servers somewhere, wherever they are, and then those game servers will send your signal to the main game server, the big boy, the boss. So you can't get to the online play service unless you get through this guy. He receives your signal that you want to play online using your internet connection. He receives your signal that you want to play online, and then he sends that signal and he transfers it to the main game servers. I was like, well, no, why not just have my connection go directly to the main game server? Because then this game server gets overloaded, right? Think about how many people play on an online video game. So we need multiple game servers, right, that can break down the signals and then send those signals, those broken down signals, to the main game server. Now it's a little bit easier for this game server to absorb that information instead of being overrun. So that answers that question, because that was a question I had when I was starting out too. So that's basically what this is. It's the same thing. So in this example, there's you, the player. There's your game, which is trading. You click play online, which is you placing an order. The broker, right? The broker, who is the gatekeeper, the first game server, he receives your order, and then he sends your order to the main game server, which, if you're trading pairs, like gold or NAS, that will go to the CME. But we're not going to get into that right now because I don't want to confuse anybody. It goes to the main game server. So that is the role of the broker. Hopefully that makes sense. If that doesn't make sense, go back, rewatch that example. And the thing I want you to do is draw out the example yourself until you understand what it is I'm talking about. Dude, I hate Windows 11. How do I adjust my paintbrush size? Oh, I'm blind. Yo, whoever made Windows 11, count your fucking days. How do I get back to the mouse? I can't reselect this, bro. Oh my God, I'm turning into Unk. I'm turning into Unk. Bro, this Windows 11 shit gotta go. All right. Yo, no, that was actually an Unk moment. All right. So the brokers are the gatekeepers. Their role is they let you enter the server in the first place. So what they do is when you press buy or sell, they take your order and then they send it to whatever exchange that you want it to go to. You know what? Let's make this even simpler. The broker takes your buy or sell order and then they say, hey, my player wants to do this. And then they give that to the game master. And the game master says, okay. And then once you decide to close your buy or sell order, that information goes to the broker, who then gives it to the game master. And then the game master says, okay, their order has been closed. Here's how much they lost or how much they gained. And then the broker will get that information from the game master. And then the broker will give you back that information. And then you can see how much you lost or won. In simple terms, that is what's happening. That is all you need to understand. If you want to learn more about that stuff, that is completely up to you. But I'm telling you, you don't need to know much more than that, right? So the next question you should probably have, and we're not going to dive too much into it this video, but it's, well, if the broker is taking my information, right? This is the broker. If the broker is taking my information, he's taking my order. Don't you want a good broker? Like, don't you want like a fast broker? Because if he's sending your orders to the game master, the big boss, don't you want a fast broker, a reliable broker, a broker who's not going to like screw your order all up? Yes. The answer is yes. There are tons of different brokers. Like I said before, there needs to be a ton of different brokers so that the game master who receives all the orders and processes them, so he can have them broken down and he doesn't get overwhelmed and flooded with a bunch of different orders. In simple terms, that is how that works. You could dive into it a little bit more. In fact, like, I'm low-key kind of gatekeeping some more information, but none of it, like, I'm telling you, none of it is important. That is all you need to know. It is an exchange between three people, but you only need to understand your broker. He is the gatekeeper. He is the person. When you decide to step forward in the game, he processes the information to the main server. When you decide to crouch in the game, he processes that information that you're crouching to the main game server. That is what your broker does. He is the gatekeeper. He executes your orders, he holds your risk, and he controls your leverage and your risk limits. That is what your broker does. Okay? Your broker processes the information for the video game. So in game logic, if you have a bad broker, you're going to have a laggy server. You're going to have slippage. So what slippage is like you press sell, but once you close the order, it said you were up like $20, but then once you close the order, you're down -20. So that's slippage. If you have a bad broker, you're going to have a laggy server. And you're going to have bad slippage and bad spreads. And I'll be honest with you, the truth bomb is that your broker, doesn't care if you win. They just care if you survive. So once again, I want you to think video game about this, okay? Think video game. Your broker, the person that processes the information for you, they don't care. They do not care if you win. They care if you lose, because then they make money. They make money either way, I'll be honest with you. But we're not going to dive too much into that right now. Your broker does not care if you win. They just care if you survive. Because if you don't survive, well, then you no longer have an account with them, right? And how are they supposed to make money? Well, okay, let's keep it in video game logic. How are they supposed to continue to be a game processing server if you no longer have money to for them to process? If you no longer have character hit points for them to process. So they don't care if you win. They just care if you survive. That is the only thing they care about. So that is the broker. So let's make sure you write that down. Everything I have on my screen, write down. So we'll write game logic is that a bad broker equals laggy servers. You don't want a bad broker. And then your next question might be like, well, how do you know a bad broker from a good broker? And once again, if that's a video you guys want, just let me know below and we can deep dive into that, but we're not going to talk about that in this video. But there's ways to tell a good broker from a bad broker, and it has to do with reading. So if reading isn't your thing, or if you can't read, you might be out of luck. But and so the truth bomb about brokers is that your broker does not care, oh my God, if you win, right? They don't care if you win. They care if you survive. That is all they care about. They don't care about anything else. That is the truth. So now we understand what brokers are. If you want to learn more about brokers, feel free to do more research on your own time. But for people who just want things simply broken down for them in sticks and stones and hit rock with other rock, this is all you need to understand. So now we know two players in the game. We know you yourself, and we know what consists of your character, right? And we're going to build our characters later on in another video. But for right now, we're just learning who the players are in the game. The second character is the broker. They are the gatekeepers. They process information, right? And we're going to tie all this together at the end of the video, and we're going to spiderweb it all together, and I'm going to show you how all these play apart with each other. But for right now, let's keep learning. So the third player in the game. Oh my God, bro. I despise this fucking Windows 11 shit. Okay, my bad. So the third person in the game. So the third player, number three. The third player in the game is probably your biggest opposition. Like, bro, if you had ops, right? How do I explain it? Bro, if you had ops, if you had an enemy, these are your ops, bro. They are your ops. They will hunt you down, and they will mutilate you, and they do not care. That is who this third player is. However, you must understand something, is that if you can somehow catch them misstepping, and it is possible, and follow in their footsteps, well, when they're rolling up to take out a specific group of people, and you're following behind them, well, then you can cash out with them instead of against them. You do not want to be on the other side of this knife of these people. You do not want to be the enemy on the other side of their spear. If it was a game of tug of war, you want to be on their side. Who are these people exactly? They are liquidity. Oh my God. They are liquidity providers / institutions. I had to sound that one out, and I still spelled it wrong. They're liquidity provider slash institutions. In video game terms, these are the boss battles. These are the boss battles, right? They're the boss battles. Now, I don't know about you. The thing is with trading is that these guys are the boss battles, but it's not impossible to be on the boss's side. You can be one of his little minions, and you can profit when the boss wins against the other main players. But we're not talking about that right now. We're just talking about what this person is, okay? I'll explain this simply, okay? No mumbo jumbo. What is their role? Their role is to move, size, and create objectives. Okay, let's break that down. And we'll even look at a chart and I'll show you. Because once again, we're just going over everything, but I'm a person who learns when you physically show me something and I do it myself. That's why I'm telling you guys to follow along and make sure you're writing down what I'm writing down, because we're eventually going to see all of this. Like, we're eventually going to go to a broker website and I'll show you brokers. We're eventually going to, and I'm about to show you this on a chart right now. So it's important you follow along. So their role is to move size and to create objectives. What do they do? What do they do? Or I guess, how do they do that? So they accumulate, oh my God, my spelling is really being put to the test here. They accumulate positions. They hunt liquidity. And for those of you who are like really confused right now, just stick with me 1 second. They hunt liquidity and they don't chase candles. Now, what does all this mean? Let's break this down in video game terms. And I'll show you on a chart as well. So their role is to move size and create objectives. What does that mean exactly? In trading, how the markets move, markets can only be moved by extreme amounts of money. They can't be moved by me or you. Especially if you see an aggressive move on a chart, you need to understand that is a liquidity provider slash institution. That is a boss battle that is moving the chart. It is not one person. It is not one regular guy. It is a boss battle that is doing that. So what do? They accumulate positions. What does that mean exactly? So there's something known as consolidation in trading. We'll go over this when we get to it. But essentially what they will do is they will build up. So I want you to picture a boss in your head, like a boss battle, the meanest, biggest motherfucker you can think of, right? I want you to mentally see this. So what do? What does the boss battle do? They accumulate positions. In video game terms, what that means is they aura farm, and they let all of the players, so including yourself, they let all of the players think they're winning, think they got the one up. They let all the players step into the boss room. So picture all the players stepping into the boss room and getting ready to beat this big, giant freaking dude. He lets all of them come in. And then what he will do is completely wipe them out with one move. So he accumulates positions for the sake of liquidity. So what do you write here? He aura farms. They aura farm. They trick regulars like me and you into thinking that the market is going a specific way, or they trick regulars into thinking that the market is about to do something, and then they just completely do the opposite. They just accumulate people into the boss room. They get as many people as they can into the boss room before they do something crazy. Well, why would people fall for that? Well, you're going to learn why. You're going to learn why. There's nothing you can control. Once again, you can't control anything in trading. This guy can. The boss battle can. He has the capital for it. If you have a fucking $1 billion, you can move the market. You don't have $1 billion though. That's why you're on this video. You feel me? So you must understand that the only thing that you can control is your own character. And all of this in this box is way more powerful than any of this other stuff. You have to master yourself. So the next thing they do is hunt liquidity. We haven't gotten into what liquidity is. We'll talk about that. But what they do, what that basically means in video game terms is say you were throwing up a magic spell. I want you to mentally see this, so close your eyes. Say you were throwing up a magic spell, and during that magic spell, you have a bubble around you now. It's a blue bubble. It's a magic spell to protect you from whatever the boss battle is about to throw at you. Standing behind you in this magic bubble is a red line, and this red line only exists behind you. And if you step over that red line, your magic bubble that is around your character will disappear. And then the boss battle, the boss, you're in the boss room at this point, the boss will see that your magic bubble has dropped, and then he'll just completely wipe you off the face of the earth. So what does it mean when I say he hunts liquidity? Essentially, he sees that you have put up a protection spell, and he knows where it is. He knows where the weak spot is, and he'll push you, right? Because there's nothing you can do about it either. He'll push you because there's nothing you can do about it because you stepped in to the boss room. You took that risk. You put that risk on the table. He'll see your weak spot and he'll push you towards that red line. He'll push you to that red line and he'll make your foot hit it so that he can wipe your HP bar out. So that he can take your risk from you. He's not letting you win. So in simple terms, him hunting liquidity means him taking out players' protection spells. That's what that is. Hunting liquidity is just taking out other players' protection spells. And we'll go over how all of this relates into trading and how you can take a trade knowing all of this. For right now, you just need to understand what it is so that you can trade. And I know I keep saying that. I'm probably going to be saying that this whole time, but I really want to beat that into you, okay? Something else that the institutions or the boss battles don't do is they don't chase other candles. So what do I mean by that? So we'll go over all of this on a chart. So if there's a candle that prints, we haven't gotten into candles yet. So candles show where previous battles took places. And when current day candles are printing, they'll use the previous day's candles as either things to copy, hunt, or just completely avoid, right? Because you don't want to repeat history. Those are what candles do, but we haven't gotten to candles yet. So big institutions, the boss battles, they won't chase candles because they don't need to, right? They don't need to chase candles. So what am I trying to say? Is that, for example, I'll just dumb it down to you. If there's a giant pump in the market, say like the candle's going all the way up, institutions aren't going to FOMO, fear of missing out. They're not going to get scared and start jumping into positions because they're scared of missing out. The boss battles are calculated. They're smarter than you. And there's nothing you can do when they move the markets except control your own player. They can't hurt you if you control yourself, right? If you're in a boss battle room and you're just throwing out random spells, the boss is going to notice that and he's going to target you. So they don't chase candles. What does that mean? Well, simply put, the boss does not get scared of missing out. He creates the we'll just put the boss does not get scared of missing out. We'll just put that. So a liquidity provider / institution is a boss battle. They are the boss battles. They are your opposition. They move the charts and they create objectives on the charts for you to target and for other people to target and for them to target as well. So what do? They accumulate positions, they aura farm, they let everybody into the boss room, they hunt liquidity, they take out other players' protection spells, and they don't chase candles. The boss does not get scared of missing out. He doesn't chase any kind of candle. He creates his own candles. That is who these guys are. Now, these guys sound big and scary, but if you're able to get on their side, so the boss, he exists to attack other players, right? But that's his innate my voice, sorry. That's his innate nature. Hopefully I said that right. That's his innate nature. He can't help that he's like that. Well, actually he could, but we're not going to get into it. He can't help that he's like that. He just has an objective and he has a mission, and that's what he seeks out to do. But he doesn't think of you as his enemy. He doesn't think of you as his enemy if you don't allow him to. There is a way to get behind the institutions and capitalize off of what it is that they're gaining. I'll give you an example. If the boss battle just did a spell that wiped everybody in the room out, but you noticed what he was doing before everybody else did, right? And he wipes everybody out. He wipes everybody out in this room. And now there's gold coins laying all around on the floor. There's XP laying around everywhere. And you're the only person left in this room because you took advantage. You seen that the boss was lifting his finger to do this before anybody else did. They all got wiped out and you didn't. Now there's a bunch of XP around you. The boss don't care about you. He already did what he was there to do. And now you can take advantage of that, and you can go around and you can pick up all the XP on the ground. That is who the institutions are, bro. That is their objective. That is, if you can see them lifting their finger before they lift it, you can take advantage and pick up all the XP in the room after he completely wipes everybody out. And I will show you what all of this looks like on a chart in a later video. But once again, for right now, you're just understanding who's playing the video game. You're just understanding who's in the game. I'm going to take a quick break, and then we'll come back and we'll learn the rest of the players. We have